everybody. Welcome to Hallmarkies podcast and Merry Christmas. And we're very excited to be here today. We love talking with actors and directors. And today we are talking with the writer and director of Let's Call the Whole Thing Off, Elizabeth Guest. And thank you so much, Elizabeth, for coming on the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So this is very exciting. Is this your first film that you've directed?
It is. It's my first
Yeah.
picture. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so exciting.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's based on a web series,
Okay.
which called Guest Appearances, and it has many of the same actors: Ed Begley, my dad Nicholas Guest, my mom Pamela Guest, and Ed's wife Rochelle Begley. So, and then I was also in the web series. So we just kind of
Okay.
continued the project.
Well,
And it's
I noticed that there were a lot of guests in the credits. I was like, oh, okay, this is a family project.
very much so. Yeah, I like working with my
Yeah.
parents. They're really talented and really supportive, and
Yeah.
it's fun to I love writing for people that I know and spend
Uh,
time. It's
I
a
mean,
very
that's you should be grateful because not everyone can say that.
I know, I know. I know. Well, Ed and my dad have been really close, and a lot of the moments in the movie are inspired by their time together. So
So, are you from Los Angeles? Are you from
I
okay. Yeah. So
yeah.
your parents are they did they work in the business?
They do. My dad, Nick,
Okay.
is an actor, and my mom, Pam, is also an actor, and she was a casting director for many years, and she was my partner on the movie. We produced it
Oh.
together. So yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, see, like I could work fine with my family, but none of them have the slightest interest in it. But that's the problem. So you're very lucky.
I know we do have a lot of similar interests.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Well,
like
so
yeah.
were you inspired by your work? Because we, of course, we know you from See You Next Christmas. Did that kind of get you inspired to for this project?
Yes, I had
Yeah.
done See You Next Christmas, and I was very, very inspired by Chrissy as a writer, director, actor, and what she accomplished with that movie, and I'm so proud of her, and she was definitely an inspiration for sure. And then on top of that, Ed and his wife Rochelle were doing a lot of Christmas movies, and
Okay.
discussing with Rochelle, making a third season potentially of the web series, and she said, "Please don't, please just make a movie." I think you should set it at Christmas. Christmas movies sell. Let's go. And
hmm
so then I took that and I thought about it, and it really does work perfectly for this character because her family is so involved in her life. And
hmm
like obviously there's that natural thing of we go
Yeah.
home for the holidays. So
Right.
it really was the perfect setup. Um,
So was the unique family situation is that part of, I assume that's part of the web series? The
with the four parents,
four
yes.
parents, yeah. Okay.
Yes, I hadn't even heard of Grace and Frankie yet. And so then when there's a similar thing with the two dads. And when we went to Austin for the web series, Marta Kaufman was there and she was doing an interview about Grace and Frankie. And I was like, oh my God, this is kind of similar to the web series. And then, of course, I binged all of Grace and Frankie that was available, and I love it. And I do think it works. That also, the devices came out of wanting to write a part for Ed, and I wanted Ed to play my other dad.
Yeah.
And so that's how that started. And then I think it works. Lydia's got too much of everything.
hmm hmm
So yeah, the chaos. They're the kind of the Greek chorus in a
Yeah,
way.
they kind of, I can see that. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the good folks at Aura Frames. And Aura Frames makes digital picture frames that become the ideal gift, especially for that person that is difficult to buy presents for. Aura Frames, you can give something meaningful that's also easy. And a lot of those meaningful gifts can be very time intensive, but this has that personalization, but it doesn't take a lot of time. You can preload images and video onto the frame before it ships. Plus, you can continually update and add new photos throughout the year. So this would be a great way to involve loved ones that are maybe far away, that don't get to be part of your everyday life, you want to share those experiences, those photos, this would be a great gift for somebody like that, because you can continually upload it through the year. You can also personalize the gift, adding a message before it arrives. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code Hallmarkies at checkout. That's Aura Frames, AURA Frames.com, promo code Hallmarkies. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell up fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about the movie, what to expect?
Okay. It's a rom-com set during the holidays, but it's sort of an anti-rom-com in some ways. It's about a love addict, Lydia, who hasn't fully grown up, and she's in her 30s, and she meets potentially the love of her life, but she's not ready for it. And so she runs home for the holidays, and essentially kind of has to get to know herself in order to hopefully find love.
Yeah. And I would say it's a little bit, maybe even more of a New Year's movie than a Christmas movie.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Because it's all sort of leading up to the big New Year's party. Yeah. And so, but It's a Wonderful Life is a big part of the movie. And would you say that you personally are more of a Mary or a George Bailey?
I think I'm more of a George.
Yeah.
Very much a George. I think I say that the character says that in the movie. Yeah. I feel the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not as I would have, I'm definitely not as loyal as George. I would have been out of there like sooner. But yeah, I'm more of a I'm definitely more of a George than a Mary, and more of a George than a Mary. But
I think we ask ourselves, like what are we doing here, and why are we here, and what do we want to be doing while we're here? And it's a great movie. Is that one of your?
I mean, I think it's one of just the finest films ever made, not even just Christmas films. I mean, it's incredible. And people are like, oh, it's so over the top that like I think most of us, like, our entire existence wouldn't turn into a cesspool if we hadn't been born. But like Clarence is trying to convince him not to commit suicide. So if he showed George the world and it was all just like fine, then that wouldn't work. So of course it's going to be over the top.
Yeah.
But it's a great movie.
It is.
Yeah.
Really.
I'd like to take a second to thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's Uncommon Goods. The countdown is on. Holiday shopping season is officially here. Uncommon Goods takes the stress out of gifting with thousands of unique, high-quality finds you won't see anywhere else. Don't wait. The most meaningful gifts get scooped up fast, and now's the perfect time to cross names off your list. What I really liked when I looked at their website is that you can go to the exact category of the person that you're shopping for. So you can look for gifts for women. And then in particular, they have a whole section for moms, for grandmas, for wives, for teenagers. And within each of those categories, there's all these creative ideas. And I had a lot of fun looking at the teen category. I have some nieces and different things that, would be fun to shop for. And I love the creativity in so many of the gifts. You've got create your own reel viewers. You've got a photo and label printer. I definitely think there is something for everybody, and it's worth checking out their site. And it's also nice that when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3.1 million to date. So don't wait. Cross those names off your list before the rush. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/Hallmarkies. That's uncommongoods.com/Hallmarkies for 15% off. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
what did you how do you feel about this whole idea of this love addict? Like, how did you come up with that? How did you write that? And like, what do you how did you feel about that element of the story?
So that came out of well, as I said, the web series, and the web series started because I was in an acting class and I was told we were all given the assignment to write a monologue about our lives. And I was feeling really overwhelmed in my love life. I had gone through a pretty big breakup. I was dating again, and it was just so overwhelming, this idea of like hurting people and them hurting me. And I was like, I can't take this. And so that's sort of how the character was created, from this monologue. I performed the monologue, and then this girl really liked it. And anyway, long story short, made the web series. But in terms of the love addiction, I remember Googling, like, is love addiction a thing? And at the time, it was like its own separate program. There's like a
Oh,
recovery
really?
that's love addicts and sex addicts meet together. But at the time of the web series in like 2014, it was its own thing. They had their own literature online. And what I've told people, I guess, is that Lydia is essentially, and the love addict is essentially like a younger version of me. Like if I hadn't done work on myself, therapy,
Mm-hmm.
all of these, like different support groups, not for love addiction, but for other things, anyway, and I did a lot of research about love addiction. And so
Mm-hmm.
I think that helped out with the movie and the web series. But it's
Mm-hmm.
really interesting. Like there's so many types of love addiction, which is why it's so complicated. And like one single person can be a saboteur, and they can also be codependent.
Mm-hmm.
Like two things can be true, and they can
Yeah.
go from one end of the spectrum to the other. And I find that really interesting. And it's also something that we deal with every single day. I mean, and it's more complicated than alcoholism, because it's not something that you totally want to eliminate from your life,
Right.
because you want to be able to find love. Um, and in some ways, it was sort of an impossible task to write a movie about this love addict, because I had to set up that she had this problem, also kind of make the audience want her to end up with the person that she's met. But ultimately, it's about being ready for the love when it falls in
Yeah,
your lap.
were you worried about keeping the character likable because she really treats Tim pretty bad?
Yeah, I was. I was definitely worried about
Yeah.
it. And I thought about how far do I take this? Yeah, I mean, it was definitely challenging, but I
Mm-hmm.
also, at the end of the day, like, I watch things all the time about like male anti-heroes. And, I feel like there's something about, I don't know, where we're at with in our society still, where there's more judgment of the our female
Yeah, that's
anti-heroes.
fair. Yeah.
And I wanted to go there,
Yeah.
because many characters in rom-coms do what she's done, but they're just not usually women.
Mhm.
So anyway, I don't know. I
Yeah.
hope
Yeah.
it's out again.
So Andrew Leeds, that was a great casting, I think. And the only thing I wish you'd had him sing, that would have been really good.
Oh, I know. He's so talented.
So
It's
good.
crazy. He's also a really good writer. Like
Oh yeah.
he can do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was super nervous to approach him with this, because
Uh-huh.
he was going to read the script, of course, and he
Yeah.
loved the script, thank God. And yeah, he's incredible in it. He's perfect. I didn't have to do very much,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about the casting, right?
Did you
So
feel like your chemistry was easy, or was there anything you did to kind of work on that?
yeah, it was easy. I don't know. I
Hmm.
mean, I think we're kind of similar in the way that we like going from drama and comedy within the same,
Hmm.
moment, same minute. And he understood the style of the writing in that way. And so I
Hmm.
didn't really have to be like, okay, and now we do this. And I mean,
Hmm.
he's a professional. He's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. Was it hard wearing so many different hats, like being the writer, being the director, being an actress, being so many different things in the movie?
Yes, it was very
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, I didn't even have a script supervisor. So
Uh-huh.
sometimes I was the only one that knew where we had been and where we're going. And it was a lot. I mean, I was just telling someone I had like a pulse at the back of my neck, like the entire shoot. Like it was like I was in survival mode kind of, and I got through it, but it was definitely challenging, but also every hour I was so grateful, so impressed with everyone I was working with, and you know, very grateful at the end of the day. But yeah, it's like a race, and you're just, you know, trying to get through it.
Well, if you're going to give a pitch to the Hallmarkies listeners that love Christmas movies, love Hallmark movies, rom-coms, what would be your pitch? They should check this out. They'll like it. They should go see it.
If you want to see a movie about a woman who desperately wants love, but unfortunately makes a few mistakes along the way, hopefully you will relate to that, in that we all make mistakes in love, and you'll enjoy the fun ride that she goes on with her family. If you like a screwball comedy, if you like romance, you know, check us out. I think it'll be a fun time.
And now, when is it going to be in theaters? When is it going to? What's the release like for it?
We are talking to distributors.
Okay, great.
We'll have information soon.
Perfect. Well, let us know, and we'll put that in the description. Do you have social media or anything like that you want to share?
We do. It's Let's Call the Whole Thing Off Movie.
Great.
And then on the Instagram, and then my social media is Liz Guest with 2 Z's. And yeah, that's I'm constantly posting about the movie. So yeah, follow along the updates. We're premiering at the Newport Beach Film Festival on October 18th at the Lido Theater.
Okay.
So beautiful, at noon. It's a Saturday. Come down, enjoy the water and the movie with us.
Great. Okay, great.
I'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's author Savannah Carlyle and her new book, Christmas at Pine Ridge Inn. This heartwarming small-town Christmas romance set in snowy Colorado mountains is perfect for readers who love cozy Christmas stories with found family and unexpected holiday romance. Lila McAllister has built a successful career as a hospitality consultant, but this Christmas, she isn't chasing 5-star ratings. She's chasing answers. Facing her first holiday alone, she sets out to find the birth mother who gave her up for adoption on Christmas Day 34 years ago. Her only clue is a handmade baby quilt that leads her to Pine Ridge Inn, a cozy mountain retreat in Colorado. But what begins as a quiet search turns into something much more when she's drawn in to the charm of the town's festive traditions and the warmth of found family. Then there's Brady Hanson, the inn's handsome but protective manager who challenges her need to control every situation. That's Christmas at Pine Ridge Inn by Savannah Carlyle. We know you will love making it part of your 2025 holiday festivities. It is a very sweet, lovely little read. So check it out. You can find it at any place that you purchase your books and through the affiliate link below. That's Christmas at Pine Ridge Inn.
I'd like to thank Elizabeth for coming on the podcast. This was a lot of fun to get to talk with her. And if you get a chance to see the movie, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section, or you can always comment on Twitter and our other social media. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure that you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. We really appreciate that. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patreon group, which is the biggest way you can support everything that we're doing. You get to be part of watch alongs, which we've done for See You Next Christmas with Christine Weatherup, the director, who also appears in this movie with Elizabeth. So definitely you want to be a member of the Patreon. You get a lot of really cool perks. And so check that out. And we have our merch store where we have lots of fun holiday inspired designs. So take a look at that. And thanks again to Elizabeth, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.